Hello everyone, and welcome to a track guide of the Indianapolis road course. As you can see from the statistics, it is 2.61 miles in length. The longest straight is 0.58 miles, and the elevation difference is 11.5 feet. So obviously there's not a huge difference there in elevation change. The straight, of course, is huge. I mean, coming out the last corner, you've got this slight corner obviously because it's an oval. It's a long straight. You're going to get a lot of speed. So this is an F1 track as well, and it's a real life circuit. So there are brake markers, and there's lots of things to point out that you can use for braking and accelerating and getting through the track. So what we'll do now is we're going to look at the actual lap. Now we'll go around slowly, identify the key markers on the track. So here we go, we're on the start finish straight. As you can see, it's a very long straight, so you're going to come down here at very high speeds, and you're going to have to look for your brake markers. Now obviously, depending on the car, brake markers are different for each individual person and the car they're driving. So as you can see, as we're coming up on the left, there's these little black things on the fence. Now you can use these as brake markers, the ones that come out onto the track, not the other side. So the pit is on the right, and on the left, as you see, we've got one of those black markers, then the 150, the 100 and the 50. Now obviously, depending on where you want to brake, you use those. I also use a black marker as well as an additional braking point. Now you want to come in, you want to get your inside tyre on the inside of that curb because it's a it sort of latches on, so it gives you a bit more turning for free. And then you want to accelerate through and continue going round. Now you want to start edging out wide as the next corner is a right-hander. Now you want to turn in really early for this corner. It wants to let you to keep going, but you want to turn in earlier so you can accelerate through. And once again, you want to just keep turning and keep accelerating through and come in really tight to this. And you want to try and stay as tight as possible as you're going to go into a left-hander next. Now as a braking marker for this, you want to use this sign or this shadow and use that as a judgment, so you can have wait for just after, just before, depending on the car. This is a long left-hander, so you're going to go in, to come out, to come back in again, because you want to stay really tight on the exit here, so you get a good run out for the back straight. Once again, turn in as quick as you can and accelerate through, because it's straight, quite a big priority corner, get a lot of time here, and the split time is also on here as well. So all these signs you can use, all the overheads you can use as braking markers, as well as the actual braking mark boards on the left at this point and on the right. As you can see, 150 on the right, 150 on the left. Here I use the sign as well. That's usually a good brake marker for most cars for this corner. And same as the first corner, you want to come in, get your tyre on the inside and then turn. And you want to head towards the middle of the road before you brake and then come in really tight. Now you want to stay tight and then go straight towards the next part of the corner and then stay tight again. This is usually a very low gear corner, and then you want to accelerate early. This is another split marker. With the previous corners, you want to stay tight just to minimize the distance on the track. Once again, you're braking here. This is a judgment corner, but you want to get your tires on the inside and accelerate out. Be careful on the exit because it does still turn. A lot of times you might find yourself going too far out and then getting oversteer. Otherwise, just keep accelerating through. If you do have to back off slightly, back off, because otherwise you will hit the grass, get oversteer and spin out. And then from here it's just accelerating through. This is the long straight, so obviously the judgment corner back there you're going to have to get right to get the best time on the lap. Now I always recommend coming out here to then go in, because obviously this corner has camber, helpful camber. You come in and you can stay in for quite a while. When you feel ready to start releasing the steering, obviously giving you that bit more speed as you come on the exit, do so, but try not to hit the wall on the exit, as obviously hitting the wall it'll damage your time slightly and knock the speed down slightly, so it would affect this lap and the next lap. But release the steering and then come on to this final bit of the straight, and that's a lap of Indy. So what we'll do now is we're going to have a look at a flying lap, and I'll talk you through again some of the bits I'm using. I'm using the 370Z from the GT Academy, so you can get a good gist of how I'm braking. So we're coming along the straights. We're going to brake at the black marker rather than the 150. Requires a lot more braking in this car. We're going to turn in, and we want to use the inside there of the tyre, and then we want to accelerate through as best as we can. It came off slightly just to get a bit extra turning, but we want to continue with the speed. We want to let go of the steering slightly to get a good angle for this corner. Miss the apex slightly, but you want to turn in as early as possible so you can keep accelerating through. There's your first split. Try and stay tight on the right. Stay tight. Use that sign as a braking marker. Go in to come out to come back in again. Once again, this sign here is also a brake marker for this corner. Use that. Turn in. Get an early acceleration because obviously it's a back straight. Quite a priority corner. Accelerate through. Got another split on here. It's just about here. We're going to accelerate. I'm going to use the sign overhead as a brake marker. I'm going to brake, and I want to get my left tyres over that curb. Just there, and accelerate. I want to get in the middle of the road if I can. Don't quite make it, but I still want to stay really tight here. Don't want to accelerate too early. Stay tight, stay tight, stay tight, stay tight. Then accelerate through. Another split here, just for your marker there. And this is judgment. You want to brake. You want to turn in as early as possible. Get the tyres on the inside. As you can see, I'm going out there quite far. I think I was risking a bit there. Could have come in a bit more tighter, and I've had a better line on the exit. Here I'm just accelerating through now. As you can see, it's such a long acceleration period. That last corner is a huge priority. And that's a lap of the Indy road course. So same as other track guides, we're going to look at the pit lane guide now. Obviously, as it's such a big straight, it's a very harsh on you going in the pits, because obviously there's so much speed going around the outside, you're getting continually accelerating. So on the pit entry, be wary that if you go really sharp on the inside, when the computer takes over, they're going to head towards the middle, so they may hit the wall as they do that to correct. But that's just one thing to note on the inside, otherwise you can just come straight in. As you can see, it's a really long pit lane, so we're already up to 25 seconds in the pits, and it's still continuing. Now I do the timer from the start of the pits, literally the start, so you could still be accelerating at that point. But yeah, we're coming into the pits now. It's just a quick tyre change. You can see we're up to 40 seconds. Now that's a very long time in the pit, so you do have to be wary of this. And then obviously we're going to exit. Now this is the length in the pit, but remember the time you gain from just accelerating through, so it's a huge impact on your lap. That's essentially a lap guide of Indy road course. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope it's very useful for you. Thank you very much. Cheers.